Greatness gang, welcome back to another episode of King of the Mix, where I'm here to help you conquer your issues as a beginner mixer, producer, and artist. And today we're going to be talking about how to mix R&B female vocals. So I got a session here pulled up, and let's take a listen to it before we dive in.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side. I travel far to see what I could see, but at the end of the
Okay, yeah, so that's some of the track, and on this vocal it's recorded like live with the band. So let me just solo it because you're gonna hear a lot of bleed in it, but we're gonna work around that.
day, I just wanna see you with me.
So you can hear a lot of the drums in the background.
When I get you begin, so many lovers.
But we're not gonna worry about that. We still gonna get this a nice sounding vocal. So the first thing I like to do when I'm working with a vocal is to change some of the dynamics, and not with a compressor. I like to do it with a dynamic EQ, so the compressor doesn't have to work as hard. So I have a Waves F6 plugged up here, and so what I'm gonna do is just look out for some of those super high annoying peaks in the vocal. So I might just skim around until I find some, like skim around to the louder parts of the song, as you can like see here. And we just gonna get those frequencies that stand out, not throughout the whole song, but just different parts of the song. So let's take a listen.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. Travel far, I travel far, I travel, I travel.
So you can see when she says travel, kind of gets sharp in your ear right there. So we're gonna take that out. So if she hits that frequency again throughout the song, we don't have to worry about that.
I travel far. I travel far to see what I could see. End of the day, so many. It's never been just like this, babe. People will come.
You gonna get that P plosive out of there when she says people. Sounds really harsh and hard.
People, people will come and people will come and I know that people will go back deep in my heart. Just wanna love you.
No, I think I hear something else on this part.
Heart just
Yeah, and I think it's more so how close to the microphone she was, not necessarily her tone of voice, but we still gonna pull that out a little bit.
I just wanna love you.
Alright, so you don't want to take out too much. You still want to leave some of that natural tone and grit in her voice. But because if you boost everything, of course, everything will sound harsh and bad. So we're going to let the compressor and subtractive EQ take care of the rest. So after I'm finished catching some of the harsh dynamics with the dynamic EQ, I usually pull up a stock EQ or a channel strip. So in this case, I'm going to be using the AMEC 9099 channel strip. So first thing I do when I pull up a channel strip, I like to roll off some of the lows and some of the highs. And then the female vocal, we can get away with usually rolling off about 100 to 120 of the low end. So let's take a listen.
I just want rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side.
Okay, we're gonna take it off about 97 hertz, and let's take off some of this top end that we can't really hear.
To see what I could see, but at the end of the day,
okay, yeah, when you're taking off the top end, you want to roll it off, and when you A-B it, you want it to sound like you took nothing off. So you really just taking off the parts that's not really audible. So, okay, after I roll off the highs and the lows, I like to take out more subtractive EQ. So I'm going to start and try to find some boxy frequencies where it sounds kind of muffled, if there are any. So I'll just boost until I hear something.
rainbow colors
And I like to do it with a small Q.
from clear blue skies.
So when I'm boosting, I use a wide Q. And when I'm subtracting, I use a narrow Q.
From clear blue skies. Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies.
I'm just going to take out a little bit around 230. Just a little bit. There's not too much boxiness going on there.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies.
Okay, and so since we took a little bit of lows out, we're going to add a teeny bit back in so the vocal still sounds natural and not super thin.
I travel far.
So we're going to boost at the low end
See what I
until
see.
it doesn't sound like subby, until it sounds like natural bass that's in a woman's voice.
At the end of the day, I just wanna see you with me. When I get you in the dark, I'm gonna let you feel the beating of my heart. I'm gonna let you in, yes. That's when we began.
Let me fast forward a little bit.
So many lovers that I have given time.
Okay,
It's never been just like this, baby.
we're good about 195, 200 range. we're going to use a peak instead of a low shelf.
I know that people will go back.
Okay, and what I like to do next after I bring some low end back in is boost around about 7 to 9K at the top end, just to like get the vocal to push through a little bit.
So many lovers that I have given time. It's never been just like this, baby.
Sometimes I use a peak, sometimes I use a shelf. It all depends on what the song is calling for.
People were coming, I know that people will go back. Deep in my heart, our love grows. So many lovers that I have given time.
Okay, that's good about there. And the next thing I like to do is boost between like 1 and 3K to like get some clarity on the vocal so you can really hear what she's saying in her words.
So many lovers that I have given.
And don't be afraid to boost high so you can really hear what you're looking for and then pull it back.
Just like this, baby, I never felt so fine. People were coming.
And like I said, when I boost, I like using a wide Q.
People will go back. Deep in my heart.
And when you're boosting, don't forget to adjust the output. You don't want to trick yourself into thinking loud is better. Always remember that.
So many lovers that I have given time.
Let's A-B what we got so far.
It's never been just like this, baby. I never felt so fine. People
B4.
I know that people
After.
will go back.
And like I said, we got the bleed in the background. You can hear the drums and some of the keyboards. So we're going to pull up this gate here to like kind of get rid of some of that, even though it's tough. But we still going to make this vocal sound as good as possible. If you could work and make a vocal with a lot of bleed in the background sounds good, you definitely could work with a real well-recorded vocal, even better.
So many lovers that I have given time. It's never been just like this, baby. I never felt so fine. People were coming, I know that people will go back. Deep in my heart, our love grows. I just wanna love you.
Okay, we're gonna pull some of that down where it gets really loud.
I just want. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. You know that is true. just the way you are.
Okay, so that's what we got so far. And let's bring in this compressor on the channel strip, but we just gonna like barely tap the meter. Let's try to barely tap the meter. And this compressor has a high pass filter, which is great since we got a lot of bleed in here. So we're going to ignore everything at the bottom.
I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. You know that is true. Just the way you are.
Pull a makeup gain.
Of you.
So I just realized we was doing a lot of the mixing in solo. And now we're going to bring everything back in to hear how it sounds together and adjust from there.
So many lovers that I have given time. It's never been.
And let's A/B take the dynamic EQ off and the channel strip off.
People were coming.
That's before.
I know that.
Here's after.
People will go back deep.
And we got the vocal sounding closer. It's more up front and a little tighter.
So many lovers that I have given time.
And on this channel strip, we have some harmonic distortion features. So we're going to pull a little bit of that in just to help it cut through a little bit more and give some grit and flavor character to the vocal.
So many lovers that I have given time. It's never been just like this, babe.
Okay, so I'm going to bring in my second compressor. Because like I said, the compressor on the channel strip is just barely tapping it. So we're going to bring in a fast compressor, the 1176, to cut off some of those peaks and bring the vocal even more up front so it could sound nice and intimate.
So many lovers that I have given time. It's never been just like this, babe.
And the settings that you can use is really up to you. How fast you want it to hit those peaks and how natural you want it to sound. Like you don't want to hear the compression. You don't want to sound like the vocal is being clamped down. You want it to sound natural. You want it to naturally and quickly bring down those peaks. So just adjust to your liking.
So many lovers that I have given time. It's never been just like this, baby. I never felt so fine. People were coming. I know that. People will go back deep in my heart. Hollow grows. I just wanna love you. You know that is true.
so that's a good starting point for the 1176 to catch those high peaks. So the next thing I like to do after that is I guess I'm playing. I like to grab usually a slower compressor to like let the peaks through and bring up the bottom information, bring up the low level noise, so we could like really balance these dynamics out. So I'm going to use a LA2A and just catch a little bit of the peaks until I believe it sounds good. Like, remember, it's like no rules to this.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side. I travel far to see what I could see.
And I like that this plugin has a mix knob on it, so you can do a little bit of parallel there. So the compression can sound natural. So I usually bring it back to about 90 or 80% sometimes. So
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry.
pay attention to how you can like hear like every syllable of the words now. Like the words that was kind of like dropping off and fading out, you can like hear it more now that I put these compressors on.
When you're by my side, I travel far to see what I could see.
Let's do a before and after of everything that we got so far.
To see what I could see. To see what.
And now we're gonna use I could have used it earlier, but sometimes it doesn't matter when you use it. But we're gonna put a de-esser on there to catch some of those S's and T sounds, like on this part that I rewinded on.
To see what I.
Usually, sometimes I just use it on this default frequency setting, about 5.5K in that range, and I just simply pull it down to I see maybe about 3 peaks. That's it. You don't want to take it down too far, and the vocal sounds lispy and unnatural.
To see what I could see. To see what I could see.
It's just that simple right there.
At the end of the day, I just wanna see you with me.
And now I'm gonna like bring out the top of the vocal a little more, maybe add a teeny bit more body to it. So what I like to do is add sometimes a Paul Tech EQ, something that's not too harsh, and just slightly brighten up the vocal a little bit more.
To see what I could see. But at end of the day, I just wanna see you with me. When I get you in the dark, I'm gonna let you feel the beating of my heart. I'm gonna let you in, yes. That's when we begin. People were coming, I know that. People will go back.
So I'm liking this 12K boost on a female R&B vocal. It like really gives it that lift and not only brings it forward, but kind of also helps it sit on top of the mix a little better too. Kind of like gives it a teeny bit of whiff.
People were coming, I know that. People will go back. Deep in my heart, our love grows. I just wanna love you. You know that is true. Just the way you are. It's all I need of you. Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side. I travel far.
So yeah, with the Paul Tech, I decided I'm not going to take out or add any low end. And as you saw, I was slightly going back and forth too between the peak and the high shelf. Sometimes later, once you add more stuff, you might want to see what makes it sit better just by slightly adjusting between the peak and the high shelf.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side. I travel far to see what I could see.
And like I said earlier, you got to keep in mind that we have a lot of bleed in the background. So too much boosting of the lows or the highs can affect how the vocal sounds with some of that bleed in the background. But we still gonna EQ this as best as we can. So, and one other thing I like to do towards the end of the chain is add a limiter just to catch those really high peaks. And the easy way to do this, you could just like literally zoom in on a waveform, and as you could like see these high peaks, just go to like a part in the song where you can see the peaks are really high, usually probably in the chorus. You just want to catch those just slightly, just to shave them off.
It's never been just like this, baby. I never felt so fine. People were coming, I know that. People will go, but it's never been just like this, baby. I never felt so fine. People were coming, I know that. I just wanna love you. You know that is true.
Yeah, we caught the peaks just slightly. So, all right, we got the vocals sitting nice and tight for the most part. You always go back and tweak it, but I'm just giving you like a basis starting point. So what I like to do next is give the vocal some width. No, before I like to give it some width, I like to add a parallel copy of the vocal. I'm not going to explain exactly how to do that in this video. I'm going to save that for another video. But the reason why you want to add a parallel copy of the vocal is to like really push the vocal in your face. So that's just sort of this.
I just wanna love you.
You see, I got 2 copies of the vocal now. So, and what you're gonna do is, you can use any compressor to be honest, but I like to use the 1176. And you just want to completely kill the dynamics in this. You could use the all buttons in or like a high ratio and just completely squash it. You probably want at least 10 dB getting compressed.
I just wanna love you. You know that is true. Just the way you are. It's all I need of you.
So yeah, we completely like crushed the dynamics there. So what you want to do is like start with the volume down and just bring it up until it sounds like the lead vocal is getting bigger, and you could just, or sound like the lead vocal is pushing forward, and then just pull it back.
I just wanna love you. You know that is true.
And in this case, it's going to sound like everything is getting louder because remember, keep in mind, we still got that bleed in the background.
I just wanna love you. You know that is true. Just the way you are.
And sometimes if your ear is not fully trained on it yet, the way you can tell that the parallel is bringing it forward, just kind of mute it. And when the lead vocals sound like it got lower or less forward, like it went back, that's how you know you have a good amount of parallel compression in.
I just wanna love you. You know that is true. Just the way you are. It's all I need of you.
So I believe that's a good amount right there. And another thing that I like to do is make the vocal sound wider. Like a lot of vocals nowadays sound like too thin to me. So adding low end isn't usually enough. So what I like to do is like add some type of doubler programming to it. And I'll just start off with like a preset and just always go back and tweak later. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to go with the background thickener vocal on this micro shift plugin. So let's listen to how does it sound in solo. Then we're gonna add it in.
I just wanna love you.
Yeah, everything got pushed out wider to the sides.
Just the way you are. It's all in need of you.
And let's add it in.
I just wanna love you. Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry.
And what I like to do, as soon as I hear the doubler, I pull it back immediately. I still want it to sound natural. A speaking voice in front of you doesn't sound super wide, but you want it to sound like the person is right in front of your face, and you want it to sound like they're speaking through the best microphone ever. So that's why you want to double the vocal.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side. I travel far to see what I could see.
That sounds pretty good to me. And next thing I like to do is put the vocal in a space. If it's usually just recorded in a booth, but this was recorded in a nice room live with the band, so it's already in a room space. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to show you what I usually like to do. Sometimes I use one reverb, sometimes I use two. So in this, I'm going to be using a plate spring reverb and just like put the vocal in a room to add some more ambience and character to it.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry. Rainbow colors.
Let me switch this plugin out. CPU is giving me issues. Just gonna go to something simple. Just use a preset, vocal plate preset.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry see what rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side.
Oh, this compressor's giving me some CPU issues for some reason, so I'm just going to mute it.
Rainbow colors.
See, the wind, we don't need that much, but I just want you to hear the effect.
I never worry when you're by my side.
Just give it a tad bit. You don't really need to hear the reverb. When people like hear it, that's more so for an effect purpose. Like, I like my vocals to sound natural, and when there's a lot going on, I don't want the reverb to cloud up everything. So next thing we're gonna go for is a delay. We're just gonna use a simple 16th note and an 8th note delay on here, just to give the vocal a tad bit more width. Let's listen to this in solo.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies.
You can hear it's giving the vocal width. So that's another reason why you don't need too much of the doubler, because you could add in more width with the delay. So let's pull it back. Of course, this is way too much, especially with the bleed.
I traveled far to see what I could see.
And remember, you want to be doing everything not in solo. I was just showing you that way so you can hear exactly what the delay was doing.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side. I traveled far to see what I could see.
Let me switch this LA 2A out with the one that's less CPU heavy.
Rainbow colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry.
Okay, and let's do a before and after of everything.
Colors fall from clear blue skies. I never worry when you're by my side. I traveled far to see what I could see. But at the end of the day, I just wanna see you with me. When I get you in the dark, I'm gonna let you feel the beating of my heart. I'm gonna let you in, yes. That's when we begin.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a good starting point when you're mixing female R&B vocals. Like I could have went back and tweaked this much more, but when you just want to get a good foundational mix, these are the steps that you can take to get you there pretty quickly. So thank you for joining me on another episode of King of the Mix. Don't forget to like this video, and please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you find this content that I'm providing you valuable. Greatness gang.